Adolf Hitler, also known as Der Führer, is the indisputable face of Nazi Germany. When World War II or the Holocaust is mentioned, Hitler is whom most people would first think of. But what if I told you that there were actually other Nazis who were just as evil as Germany's most infamous chancellor? Meet Hitler's heartless henchmen. The year is 1924. 27-year-old Joseph Goebbels had just joined the Nazi Party and was tasked with building up Nazi support in Berlin. Given his journalistic background, one of his first projects in the party was Der Angriff, a newspaper meant to spread propaganda in Berlin, where Nazi support at that time was still weak. There is a reason behind this young man's eagerness. Having contracted polio as a child, his deformed foot and overall physical condition were the reasons he was rejected from military service during World War I. Because of his disability, it is also said that he pursued women and romance as a form of compensation. Now, he wasn't exactly anti-Semitic from the beginning. Though he aspired to become a published author, the bleak prospects in this field led him to work in finance, which he actually did not like. Around this time, struggling not only with failed romances but also with his career aspirations, Goebbels was first introduced to works that promoted ideologies leaning toward the extreme right. In other words, he began to embrace the Völkisch movement, an ethno-nationalist ideology that championed the racial superiority of the Aryans and condemned Jews as an alien people. As a member of the Nazi Party, he rose through the ranks and eventually became one of its core propaganda figures, utilizing his literary and oratorical abilities to fuel the nationalist and anti-Semitic ideologies of Hitler. As Minister of Propaganda from the early 1930s until the end of the Second World War, he controlled the press, radio, publishing, and cinema in order to demonize and dehumanize Jews while justifying Nazi violence. Goebbels was successful in building a totalitarian information system because his methods of propaganda rallied great support for the Nazi Party. The censorship of dissenters, along with the justification of anti-Semitism, proved to be an effective manipulation tactic that convinced many Germans that what they were doing was right. Eventually, he himself authorized violence by inciting Kristallnacht. After a German diplomat was assassinated by a young Jew in 1938, Goebbels used this as a pretext to call for spontaneous demonstrations against Jews. He gave a speech that implied there would be no punishment for violence against them. This was how Goebbels fashioned the media in Nazi Germany. He distorted and twisted events in order to defend Nazi ideologies and actions. His passionate speeches cast the German people as victims, so they could blame the Jews and justify their own aggression.